Man, pencils.
Oh,
motherfucking
down.
Bam. Here we are, baby. Wow. You see the three of us. I think you know what that means. To ramble. How about that? Time. It's time to ramble number 276. Oh. When were we left for dead, Eddie? 276 when we left for dead.
Was it? I want to say it was farther along than most people. Like when we started the thing, we're like, they're gonna call us dead at 2.
Right.
But I think the chants really started coming in around 11. That's when they that's when it got really loud, where they wanted us to stop doing this.
And look, I hate to out personal business like this, but Cody refused to join for a long time because
he led the charge to get us to stop.
He thought it was over. Cody was like, "This is
like,
going
stop doing this. You're embarrassing yourselves."
Yes, as a friend, I want to let you guys know this isn't going anywhere. And
then
Cody was like Lindsey Graham. He said the Ramble would be the death of his podcasting life, and now he's playing golf with us every week.
He's the Lindsey Graham of the Ramble.
That's how I like to be known.
Right. What's up, everybody? Here we are, baby. Look at us, keeping it real. 276, ready to go. Colin Maggs wants to jump in first. Max. He says, "Hey, Jerry, Eddie, and Cody, and He-Man's mom's pussy. Hope everyone is doing okay this week. Hasn't been too far for anyone. Sorry about your ongoing car issues, Eddie. As this week is the Fingerbanging episode, I wonder if you could shed some light on an urban myth. Apparently, a few years ago, a young couple were engaging in a bit of the set activity whilst listening to the Ramble. Apparently, Jerry's obsession with six-pack turned her on. When the Hall of Fame harmonica solo came on, the girl had such a strong orgasm, her pussy muscles went into a hard spasm, severing 2 fingers off the guy's right hand to the third knuckle. And the heat radiating from her cauterized the wounds. Is this true? Or just a story made up to scare off teenagers from engaging in finger banging? Eddie?
There is, like in all urban legends, there is some truth buried in there. The fingers were not severed off. That is false.
That's bullshit.
That was there to scare people away from finger banging during the Ramble.
Yeah.
He suffered 2 severe sprains and I think a ligament tear in the middle finger.
Jesus.
He still can't quite bowl.
Wow.
Because of the injury.
Poor guy.
So there is some truth in there, but there was no severed fingers, and of course no vagina gets so hot to cauterize a wound. That's an embellishment. But she did clench up enough to break the fingers.
But do you mind if I not disagree with you?
Yeah.
But have you ever played your harmonica that close to a vagina? Maybe it could if you were right next to her. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? There. I never have.
Usually
if I start playing the harmonica in the room with a woman,
it's over.
It's over. The deal is already sealed, so I don't get the harmonica that close.
Right.
She's already naked and on me, and at that point, I've lost interest in the harmonica.
Of course.
So, I would be fine running some sort of double-blind study where
we could try.
Very clinical, very lab-like, where we have some volunteers and I do that sort of thing. I'm up for that.
I think if we have any volunteers, we're going to find out.
So please email us at The Ramble if you want to volunteer for
Ramble at theramblepod.com.
Harmonica.
You can also hit us up at
study.
Twitter at Podcast Ramble 1, Instagram at Podcast Ramble. Michael Worms. In honor of the upcoming NFL draft, could I suggest a football comedy double shot for Good Willow Hunting? Necessary Roughness and The Replacements. If Cody hasn't seen either, then you have to see Necessary first, because The Replacements is basically a carbon copy.
What about Wildcats?
Wildcats is the best one. Huh? There would be no White Men Can't Jump without Wildcats.
Right?
I watched a lot of The Replacements as a kid, so that was on
What
rotation.
about Wildcats? Have you seen Wildcats?
I haven't seen Wildcats.
Do you know the premise to Wildcats?
No.
Goldie Hawn takes over coaching a high school football team, and 2 of the players are young Wesley Snipes and young Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
that was the White Men Can't Jump.
That's where it started from.
Wildcats ain't that bad of a movie.
And principal Nipsey Russell.
Nipsey Russell is a principal. It had maybe the funniest cheerleaders in movie history. Because the cheerleaders they would just insult and be like, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi,
you ugly. What? You ugly.
You ugly. Wildcats was fucking dope as shit.
We could do Wildcats and Best of Times. Have you seen Best of Times?
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Kurt Russell, Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's okay. This could be good. I'm digging this. After our Back to the Future romp, this could work. Charles Phillips. CP. I'm back after almost 20 rambles gone. Life got my busy workload double, and I had a mental breakdown. Sorry to hear about that, Charles. And he asked, can Kenneth and Savage tell me how I should deal with my recovery from my mental breakdown? Cody, do we have that episode?
Well, they had that string of like 10 podcasts where they were doing a lot of self-help sort of stuff.
Yeah. Remember? Do we have any of those?
Yeah, I think I might have it somewhere in here.
All right, yeah, just let us know.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's self-love, self-help, you know.
That's right.
That's right. It was a 10-part series. It was a 10-part series. Self-love, self-help.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and load it up.
Thank you. All right, here we are, episode 3. Episode 3, self-love, self-help.
Hey, and before we start this episode, all these episodes, love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
That's like the most important thing. They say you can't love nobody else.
What's the best way to get jizz?
You got to love yourself.
Got to love yourself.
You know, let me tell you something, pal. I ain't never had nobody get jizz out of me the way I can get jizz out of me.
Right?
Nobody does
the jizz drilling better than the jizz driller himself.
The jizz driller, you know, that's how you handle your business. That's how you do it. It's like the guy who made Mario. Nobody's gonna do Mario better than the guy who made Super Mario.
He knows all the twists and turns. He knows where to go.
He knows how to play.
He knows where that princess is.
He knows what little hidden mushrooms are to give it the extra life.
That's right.
It's like you just say, hey, how many times? Look, God bless her, but my second ex-wife, who of course, God rest her soul.
My third ex-wife, yeah.
Your third, your third.
Your second, my third, yeah.
God rest her soul.
God rest her soul. She was a lovely woman.
Again, we won't rest until her killer has been found.
Right.
Anyway, there's so many times. Maybe I remember you called me in the middle of the night with this problem too. I'd be like, sometimes I gotta smack a fucking mouth. Let me finish.
Right.
Please let me finish this. You'd smack a hand away. Like, I know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need your help right here. I don't need.
That's why I slept on the couch most nights.
Because it's better that way. And let me tell you something. If anybody's going through any kind of serious trauma,
right,
there's nothing better than jizz.
Right. Remember that night you called me?
Yeah, sure.
This was probably like, I don't know, 4 in the morning.
4 in the
morning.
Yeah,
you like, hey, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take my life. I'm like, don't do that, man. You know what? Take a breather. Take a breather. Pull out your penis.
Yeah, sure.
Play with yourself.
You even told me a couple of things. You mentioned how, I don't want to air everything, but you told me you're a good-looking guy. You said, you told me, imagine my breathing in the back of your neck.
Right.
Remember that?
I was like, little whisper on the back of your neck, hair stands up.
A little bit in my ear, maybe a little bit, a little lick in the ear, a little lick in the ear, a little bit. Like, I like it. And then, boom. I was jizzing.
And how did you feel?
$1 million.
Right.
$1 million fucking dollars. Never thought about taking my life since.
Right.
I'm telling you, jizzing is the cure. It's nature's cure all for any kind of mental sadness.
There's magic in jizz.
They've
done it. It's scientifically proven. When you ejaculate, you increase serotonin levels in your brain.
Yeah. Okay.
That's science.
Full disclosure, since we're trying to self-help, be it self-love. That night, you talked me into jizzing.
Yeah.
I still got that jizz in the vial. I still look at it sometimes.
You do?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Growing
next time we're together, I got to look at that. I got to look at that jizz next time.
Oh, yeah, sure. You know, I'm saving it for that occasion. I thought maybe we pop it open, maybe a little, rub it on each other a little bit.
Jizz party.
A little jizz party.
I can't wait.
All right, there we go. I think that was the one. That was it.
I hope that was the right one. We played a lot of it.
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking
there's 10 episodes, so
I guess Charles, a jizz party it would be.
So yeah, if you're ever feeling down, you ever have a breakdown.
You're feeling down. Hey, man. Just jizz. That's all.
According to those guys, that's not from us. We cannot.
You did ask, Charles. You asked what Kenneth and Savage would have said. We happen to have that one handy.
That's not ours.
Holy shit, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Dude,
with the Jizz Talk. We had a Jizz Talk.
What an intro. What a fucking intro. I guess we rock that music now. And if you know the words, sing along, huh? Here we go. Okay, here we go. One of these nights, one of these crazy old nights, we're gonna find out, pretty mama, what turns on your lights. The full moon is calling, the fever is high, and the wicked wind whispers and moans. Come on, America, the world, you've got your demons, and you've got desires, but I've got a few of my own. Ooh, someone to be kind to, in between the dark and the light. Whoa, 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 coming right behind you. Swear I'm gonna find you one of these nights. Perfect timing right there.
Now, I don't want to say what you just did correlates to anything. There's no cause and effect, I don't think. But I just say there's a weird coincidence that while you were singing that song, it just popped up that Drew Brees retired from the NFL.
What?
So I don't know. I don't know if that caused it. But I'm not saying it didn't. So you may have just retired Drew Brees.
It's Taysom Hill time, baby.
It's Taysom Hill time.
Sure, everyone in New Orleans is excited about that.
The Jameis Winston Taysom Hill battle begins. Now, granted, this news is now days old to the people listening to this,
right.
but
has it happened? Jerry was singing, Drew Brees retired.
As I sang One of These Nights by the Eagles. Do you think he feels stupid now for that video like a week ago where he was running with those weights and shit, like sprinting and Drew Brees and then had it not been for him being such a needy fuck wanting to learn golf, Tiger would have not gotten into that accident either. So maybe it's a good time for Drew Brees to walk away. Because wasn't Tiger driving to go teach Drew Brees golf, if I'm not mistaken? It was like some reality show thing they were doing. We're like, he was gonna. I'm telling you, man. Look at that. Drew Brees is God. My favorite Christian. Is he your favorite Christian?
Oh God, I have so many.
I have so many. I mean,
so many.
I'm gonna miss the way he just shucked his way through any answer about any social.
Yeah. Anytime he stepped in a big pile of shit, he would just like, I talked to some people and I saw the other side, and then he'd walk away. No problem.
And walk away, man. Oh.
Then he's like, the church you donate to is like super against gay people. Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
All right.
Well, I talked to him, and they like gay people now, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep going. Okay, thanks, man.
Either the dumbest person alive,
which is not out of the question.
Not out of the question.
The dumb jock stereotype lives for a reason, doesn't it?
I mean, you almost want to give it credit to the people that just lean into their shitty beliefs,
right?
As opposed to the ones that do it and then they get caught and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know all these people I hang out with every Sunday are super transphobic and homophobic. We never talked about it."
How was I supposed to know?
Yeah, I love that one. We just never talked about it.
It
never came up.
Never came up. You mean the guy next to me who had an Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve T-shirt on every Sunday was anti-gay? You're telling me this?
Yeah. Or every time we were outside, we saw two guys walking by holding hands, and he kept nudging me, going, "Hey, look at that! Check that out! Look at that shit! Look at
that bullshit!
Look at that bullshit! Fucking bullshit!" You never knew.
We're gonna miss him.
Gonna miss that guy.
R.I.P. Drew Brees' career. R.I.P. There we go.
Still, the best moment is when Oprah Winfrey called out his mole on his face on TV.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I do not remember that.
Cody, could you look
she tried to wipe his mole off his face.
She tried to wipe it
No,
off
she didn't.
And literally after that is when he got it removed.
I never knew this.
It's on TV. It was on TV.
Did I miss this?
It's the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Oh yeah, I found it here.
Drew, you got some smuts on your cheek. I think it's funny that Oprah thought he'd be that stupid to just show up for an interview with like.
How does Oprah not look at a picture of her guest coming in and go, "Okay, well, he's got a huge birthmark on his cheek"? Like this is the first time she's ever seen Drew Brees, and she's going to interview him on TV. How can you be that oblivious to the person coming in?
Amazing! How did I miss this? This is fucking amazing! Wow! Was this after the Super Bowl? Is that?
He was in the Super Bowl. He was MVP.
Oh, this is lame.
Oh, yeah. It falls off the cliff so fast. Oh, they're so into it. And then comes the most awkward moment in history. You get a birthmark, and you get a birthmark.
This is so great knowing what's going to happen.
Wow. All right, who just kissed you? There's a big old... Wow, it's so wonderful to see you.
Thank you. It's so wonderful
That moment when you knew
Who just kissed you?
And look at her. She's like, okay, walk away.
She's like, well, to her credit, she gets out of it quick.
Boy, does she pretend that never happened.
Yeah.
Man, does she pretend that never happened.
And Breeze is just sitting there like, well, I know where I'm going after this. Who just kissed you? Okay, well, let me just change the subject real fast.
She's texting a plastic surgeon immediately. Like, okay, this is, we're done with this. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Fucking brilliant. Way to go, Oprah. Oh, shit. Well, let's get into this. We have a whole show to get into.
Yeah.
Cody, I think it's time to play the hat song. If
what
you can believe
hat
it.
would they wear?
Can I tell you what I love about that, Eddie?
What's that?
Can I tell you what I love about the what hat would they wear harmonica solo?
What about it?
It's so brilliant, but it just lets you know something else is on the way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's like this.
It's an aperitif.
There it is.
It's an aperitif.
That's it. That's it. Oh man, Cody, is the statue of Eddie still outside the Guitar Center in San Antonio?
Yes, there was some controversy recently.
What?
Where,
oh no.
Look, I don't want to get into this into too much depth because I don't want to cause a problem, but
oh man,
it was creating a bit of a hassle because
oh no.
Look, let's just say it became a tourist trap, and what was happening was it was backing up traffic along the highway because people were lining up in their cars. There were some accidents. There were a few instances, if you look online, of like people like violently getting mad at each other for taking too much time, standing at the altar of it, and
Eddie, before one last thing, I heard a rumor, Cody, you live in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. You would know this. I heard a rumor that the River Center and the Alamo people hate that fucking statue.
Oh, yeah.
Because so much.
Their business is in the toilet. I mean,
it's
there's no other way to put it.
Single-handedly destroying the economy in San Antonio. And I did not want it there. When they told me what they were doing, I'm like, look, hey, I bought a little like 4 square miles of land in like north of San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like 15 miles north.
Out of the heart of the city.
Out of the heart. I'm like, put it there. So if people really want to go see it, they'll go there. Yeah. Don't put it like just where people are driving down the street because you're gonna cause problems.
And now that's where the end of the line is, and they misunderstood you. And so
that's like, man,
I told them, don't do it. And they wouldn't listen to me.
Wow, man. Well, there we go.
But I have to say, harmonica sales at Guitar Center through the roof.
That's the only reason that statue's still there.
Through the roof. Wow. I had a feeling. So this was tough, man. Keith, the Rolling Stones. And we had some surprises for the Rambler listeners.
Oh.
For this. The Ramblers and James do some surprises because you think it's Keith or Mick, right?
It's a 2-horse race.
It's a 2-horse race. Dustin Jacobs says Keith Richards. Does Mick ever play an instrument? Keith is back there working his ass off on God knows what, and Mick is dancing like a chicken. Clearly, this is a style versus substance question. Gary Priest. Hey, Jerry, Eddie, Cody have been stirred out of my lethargy to right a great wrong that has been perpetrated by the Ramble. Uh-oh,
what?
Fellas. How can any movie with the line, "Why does God need a spaceship?" and Kirk's "I need my pain" speech be considered bad? I'm reclaiming Star Trek V as an underrated and misunderstood classic. Anyway, I hope you all are well. Here are my lists. Jagger edges it out for me. Greatest frontman.
That movie is so bad, they don't consider it canon.
It's not even canon. They just tossed it.
Because if you go from Star Trek 4, Kirk hates Klingons.
Yes.
Because they killed his son in Star Trek 3.
Klingon bastards, they killed my son.
They killed my son. They've killed my son.
Klingon bastards.
They've
killed
my son.
Killed my son.
Star Trek 6, he's willing to destroy the galaxy. He won't go to the peace talks because he hates the Klingons.
Hates Klingons. Spock says, "Jim, they're dying." Yeah. Kirk says, "Let them die."
Let them die. He hates them. Star Trek 5, he's on the same ship with the Klingon ambassador. He's hanging with him, and they do one of these salute things. He's like, "Okay, all right."
And then a movie later, he hates him again.
He wants them all to die. William Shatner didn't pay attention to what happened in Star Trek 3 or 4.
No, he didn't.
So whoever made Star Trek 6 didn't pay attention to what Kirk did in Star Trek 5.
So we're sorry. Look, Gary, we're happy, but we're sorry that you.
What does God need with a spaceship?
What does God need?
What does God need with a spaceship?
And boy, does DeForest Kelley just give everything he's got to save that scene. Jim, when the Almighty asks you for a spaceship, you don't ask him. Well, remember he tried his best to save it. Jake Pauley, a.k.a. Scissor Lord on Twitch. Hat, Keith Richards, one of the best guitarists of all time. Jack Sparrow's father plays all the guitar parts on both Paint It Black and Sympathy for the Devil. Graham and Faye, greetings from the Great White North, fellow Ramblers. Who else could it really be? The literal definition of frontman. If the Stones didn't have Jagger strutting as their lead, would they have been as timeless as they have been for 60 years straight? After all, Keith Richards may be immortal, but there's a reason the band's logo is mixed lips and tongue. Colin Maggs, Keith Richards. He's such a caricature of a rock star. Here's where we get crazy. Michael Werman. Charlie Watts, next to Ringo, he was the other original rock drummer to influence all artists. Plus, he had to keep a steady groove for a constantly smashed Keith Richards. Charles Phillips, CP. Charlie Watts, 2 for Charlie Watts.
Did not see that coming.
Cody, did you see that coming?
Mm-mm.
Man. Cody, how you doing, by the way, buddy? Doing good?
Never been better.
Okay, this is from Joseph Santos. He says, I think this is in reference to people saying Joseph might have a crush on Cody. Hashtag Cody, no, not at all. Hashtag don't get your hopes up. Hashtag he couldn't handle me.
That sounds like he does have a crush.
That sounds like he does.
You can't handle this.
Hall of Fame, he goes Keith Richards, and he says, hashtag Graham and Faye, time to get some sleep. Y'all have been working too hard, because I think the Graham and Faye might have also intimated that they think Joseph Santos might have a crush on Cody. Joe Capone, Keith Richards. Eddie, who was yours?
I went Keith Richards.
Ooh.
I went Keith Richards as well.
Cody?
Jagger.
I went Keith. I had to go. I see both arguments there. I had to go Keith Richards.
Just because I've seen Jagger do some solo stuff. He did duets with Bowie. Like, I've seen him around doing other things. But as far as the Stones go, that seems to be Keith Richards' thing.
It's Keith. I mean, Keith had a couple solo albums too, but
but I don't know.
Jagger has always tried to be bigger than the Stones.
Yes.
Jagger he tried to be a movie star. And Keith Richards talks about that in his book. It's great. He says, I love the guy to death. He's my brother. Love him to death. But yes, he desperately wants to be famous on his own. Right. Yeah. Just to kind of do it's interesting. But yeah, I had to go Richards. I mean, Jagger, nothing wrong with that pick. We're going to make it real tough. 277. You ready for this? Hair metal bands go into the band Hall of Fame.
Wow.
What hair metal band is on?
Now, some bands went through hair metal phases.
I don't think they count, do they?
They don't count. Like Motley Crue went through a hair metal phase.
They did. They sure did. They kind of helped kick it off.
I'm saying, but then they Then they went out of it.
They tried to get hard with Hooligan's Holiday.
Yeah,
which is like my favorite song of theirs.
Do those bands count, the ones that
Cody,
sort of went in and out?
Your thoughts, Cody. The in and outs, do they count?
I think yes, because I think that if they could have been identified as a hair metal band at one point, and there's some material there for it.
So that's true.
I think that's fine. I think
all right. Work. Yep. Okay, let's do that. So in and outs count. Hair metal bands. Who goes in? Eddie, could you, if we had to do it right now, could you pick a band? Could you both pick a band?
Yeah, I could pick a band.
Yeah. Cody, could you do it if we had to go right now?
Probably, but I don't know.
Does Cinderella,
there's a couple in the running.
Do Cinderella or Dangerous Toys get a vote, Eddie? Do you think they're going to get in? Do you think Cinderella or Dangerous
They get more votes than Stryper.
Okay, yeah, deal. That makes sense.
They get more votes than Stryper does.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's time to open, close, and encore. How exciting is that? How exciting is that?
Very.
Open, close, and encore. Cody. Now, this is, I don't know how to put it. This was bittersweet for Cody. I hate to out your business like this, but Cody was in a band once that had a harmonica player. Cody hated the guy. They did not get along.
Yeah.
And I heard the story. Cody, I don't know how true this is or not, but apparently that harmonica player stood outside of Eddie's statue and tried to play that solo, and apparently is in a coma now because he got fucked up by all the people there who thought it was blasphemous. So it's bittersweet because, Cody, you don't want to see that happen to anybody.
No.
But you also hated the guy. So I guess, was that a bittersweet moment for you? Is that how we would describe that?
Yeah, it was bittersweet.
Do you know how far he got into trying to play the open close encore solo?
I think from what I heard, he just he stood in front of the statue and pulled out a harmonica, and that was enough to send the crowd.
Well, I heard he had a recording of me singing that part, and everyone's like, "Oh no, you don't, motherfucker," because they knew what was coming.
And just laid into the guy.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how long ago that was, but is there any truth to the rumor, Cody, that you reached out to him for the first time in years to egg him on to go do that, knowing what would happen to him?
Look, I don't want to incriminate myself here.
That takes away the mixed feelings, then, I guess.
It really does. So I think this was just all sweet. Not so much.
Look, no,
seems premeditated to me.
There was some bitterness. Sure, yeah. Okay, let's go with that.
All right. Oh man, this is Bryan Adams, Dustin Jacobs. Have you ever really loved a woman as the opener? Everything I do it for you as a closer. You encore with I got my first real 6-string over at the 5 and dime, summer of '69. Gary Priest, GP. Right, Eddie? Is that what we've decided?
It took it's been 3 months of deliberation.
Right.
And we finally settled on GP.
Right.
So that's it.
What's Dustin Jacobs? Do we call him Dusty, Jacoby, DJ? Dusty. I don't know. Cody, do you have a horse in this
Call
race?
him Dusty. The American Dream, Dusty Road.
The American Dream.
Yeah, baby.
Dusty Jacobs.
The American Dream, Dustin Jacobs, baby. Well, that's it. The American Dream. He's the American Dream.
There it is. The American Dream, Dustin Jacobs. That's it. The American Dream, Dustin Jacobs. Gary Priest. Oh, okay. I have a story to tell you about Gary Priest's opener. He opens with, I'm gonna run to you, 'cause when the feeling's right. Then he closes Summer of '69, encore with Heaven. Now, I used to work at a Barnes & Noble in the music department back in Dallas, Texas. And I'm not making this up. You guys think I'm exaggerating. For at least 2 months, we had those listening stations in the music department.
Oh, I remember
you
those.
could scan the CD. Yeah. So it was a great way to test out if you're going to want to buy something or not.
Yeah.
There was this dude who was in his 40s, and he would come in every night at like 8 o'clock at night, walk over to the A's in Rock, pull out Bryan Adams' greatest hits, scan it, and he was doing like this. And finally, we're like, what does he live? So we finally snooped, and we said, oh my God, it's Bryan Adams' greatest hits. And then we're like, well, what song? Run to You. Every time it was Run to You.
Every night? He did
every night time? For like 2 months, and then we never saw the guy again. And he was just so into it. Just like.
Wow.
Oh, man. That had to have been. It was a murder-suicide. That's why we never saw him again. Correct? I mean, whatever person he was thinking of when he would hear that song.
See, if he just come in and listen to Jizz Talk, the 10-episode arc,
he'd be alive right now.
He'd be alive today.
So would that other person. Jake Pauley, a.k.a. Scissor Lord, you open with Heaven to set the tone. Wait, what would Paul's? Paulie. You open with Heaven to set the tone. You close with Everything I Do it for you to really get those panties soaked. Then you encore with Summer of '69 to send them home pumped.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be, here's maybe the most authoritative one. We have ringing in from Canada, Winnipeg themselves, Graham and Faye.
Yeah.
They're not going to take any bullshit when it comes to one of Canada's most famous singers.
No, they're not.
It's become abundantly clear to me as lately, with my experiences with the Garmy via the Ralph Report, that there seems to be a shockingly large amount of unheard Canadian musical jams to our neighbors in the South. Look at him. He is fucking hitting. He's hitting hard. Kim Mitchell, Triumph, Colin James, Tom Cochrane and Red Ryder, Tragically Hip, etc., etc., etc. Bryan Adams may now own the finger-banging category, but you have to travel back to his band's early days, and they absolutely rocked instead of the ballad machine they have evolved into.
Oh,
all right,
shots fired on Bryan Adams.
Right. Okay, can we do a quick What's a Better Tom Cochrane song? Do we do Tom Cochrane and Red Ryder with Lunatic Friends? Or do we do Tom Cochrane? Life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long.
That's his most famous song, right?
I think Lunatic Fringe.
More than Life is a Highway?
I think.
That song was everywhere for a minute.
Oh, I know, but so was Whoa, Lunatic Friend. Cody, which one have you heard more?
I don't know.
Life is a Highway. I've definitely heard more.
Wow.
Like early 90s, right. That song was everywhere.
It was everywhere. Life is a highway. That ain't a half bad jam.
All night long.
So the open with Kids Wanna Rock, you close with Rebel, you encore Summer of '69, live anywhere in Canada, so the entire crowd will sing the entire song in unison. Now we go to Colin Mags. Max. You open with Summer of '69, close with When You Gonna Feel, Mel C, a.k.a. Sporty Spice, the only one with a decent voice. Encore, a.k.a. the erection section of Fingerbangers, play Medley of Heaven and Everything I Do. I didn't know he did a song with Sporty Spice, Bryan Adams. Who knew that?
I didn't know that either.
Michael Werman opens with Run to You. This is still an amazing rocking song. Closes with Cuss Like a Knife, the song that broke him huge on MTV. And, I'm very surprised it took this long till we got Cuts Like the Knife on him. Cuts Like a Knife.
Me too.
Encore, Sorry Eddie, but Kiss joins him as they do War Machine, and then they charge everyone in attendance double because it's Kiss. Brian wrote the song for Kiss, and he says he's actually never seen it performed live at their shows. Gene Simmons, 1,000%. Well, I think you're getting a concert with those two, so why don't we go
That's like two concerts, so you should.
Before we take stage, we charge
with
twice before we... Charles Phillips. CP. Everything I Do it for you. Close the Summer of '69. Encore with Heaven. Cody, you doing all right so far in this podcast? You having a good time, baby?
I'm having a great time.
All right. Joseph Santos says, Bryan Adams, open your heart. You hear that boom, boom, palm. I bought my first real 6-string to the second song, Summer of '69. Leads into Cuts Like a Knife. And then Run to You. He's going to full on. After 20 amazing songs, hour and a half of playing, a huge screens come out of the background, and suddenly you're in a forest, and Kevin Costner swings out for I Do It For You, and that starts to play the Robin Hood song. Hashtag.
How many fucking songs did he pick? Jesus Christ. It's open, close, encore, not open, middle section, encore, second encore. Jesus, man, get with it.
And then he says, hashtag, if you think that's flirting, you don't know what abusive relationships are. I think Cody, it sounds like he's hitting on you. Really, I mean, the more I think about this.
I mean, I didn't want to think of it at first, but the more this goes on, all signs point to yes.
Joe Capone opens with Can't Stop This Thing We Started, close the Summer of '69. Oh, God. Eddie. How are you doing? Encore. The lights fade as they begin to rise again. Gene Simmons from Kiss rises from under the stage.
Why do we have... No, we don't need this.
As Adams begins to play the bone-crunching riff of War Machine, the song he wrote with Gene Simmons for the 1982 Kiss album, Creatures of the Night. I had him open with Run to You in memory of that murdering suicidal guy at my old bookstore that I worked at. I have him close with Heaven and then encore with Summer of '69. All right. Eddie?
I have him open with Summer of '69.
Oh, shit.
Close with Run to You, and then it just turns into a fingerbang fest when he encores with Heaven.
Heaven, of course.
Just everybody, you're fingering whatever you put your finger in.
Whatever is near you, it's getting fingered.
Vaginas, buttholes.
That's why, if I'm not
electric
mistaken,
socket, whatever. You're fingering something.
We could not include that. Did not count, or we couldn't put that one or Almost Paradise in our top 5.
Yeah, right? Those are because it had to
those
be
are stricken.
But those
anything
two.
But those two. Those are stricken
because those are guaranteed 1 and 2.
Absolutely. What are you talking about? What else could they be? Cody, what did you have? The great Bryan Adams open, close, and encore with.
Open with Run to You.
Ooh.
Close with Everything I Do it for you. Encore Summer of '69.
Greatness. Got my very first 6-string. All right, there we go. Next Ramble. I don't know if we've done this before, but I was in the mood. One of my favorite all-time bands. One of Ireland's greatest exports. Thin Lizzy. What's Thin Lizzy going to open, close, and encore with? Man, Eddie. Are you a fan of Thin Lizzy?
Yeah,
Eddie?
I like Thin Lizzy.
Man, you know what my favorite Thin Lizzy song is?
What?
Started playing right around the winter of '93. The boys are back in town, all over Dallas radio, baby. After that first Super Bowl,
back in town.
Spread the word around. That song played.
Not the cowboy song?
No, it was right. It should have been I am just a cowboy. I mean, they have so many that work for the Cowboys, but you should have heard how many radio stations after the Cowboys beat Buffalo for that first Super Bowl with Aikman. That was just could not escape.
Awful.
The boys are back in town. So now, do you hate that song, knowing that?
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, well there we go. See, but they couldn't do it for your team. He couldn't do some horrific F-troop racist accent and sing some song. He couldn't do it. So there we go. That's why, right there. I guess it's time to play some video games and read some books, everybody. I'm reading books, I'm playing video games. Bring your pussy over here. We're reading books and playing games. Wow. Man. Wow. Now, Cody, I'm sorry to do this to you also, buddy, but I hate to bring up wounds. But you have an extra sibling that you never told us about, right? Who took their own life because they couldn't play that solo. Is that true, Cody?
Wow, that's going to take a dark turn here on the Ramble.
I can't.
I don't blame. That's super personal.
I'm sorry.
That's super personal, and I feel partly responsible. So it's
sure.
That's still a raw nerve.
I mean, but Eddie, do you blame Icarus for trying to fly to the sun? You know what I mean?
No, but
no. You can't, Cody. I just hope you let go of that anger and sadness because you can't blame.
Honestly, it's a wound that's never going to heal for either one of us.
Right. Oh man! Oh. All right. Graham and Faye, I've now knocked off the last of my game achievements to the Outer World. Now it's time to pursue my Steam my Steam library for yet another game I own but never bothered to play. Damn you, Steam sales. Typing of the Dead. Basically, think of it as a love child of Mavis Beacon teaching typing meets the Hard R Dolomite and Night of the Living Dead.
Wow.
The Grindhouse-inspired digital abortion that is the game. It's quite magical, and you learn how to type. Deep cut. Are there any ramblers who remember the old Sega Dreamcast version where you actually had to buy a keyboard to plug into the console to play the game? That I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
I was a Nintendo guy back then.
I had Dreamcast, but I returned it almost immediately after I got it.
I heard it was such a disappointment because it was such a great system that just didn't have the support it needed with the games and whatnot. I heard.
I remember getting it, and I think I had Madden and Final Fantasy VII for it. And then
Remember the it's thinking ads where you like, and it just was weird. It couldn't really. They didn't know how to market it. The only thing I thought was cool was the Randy Moss commercial. Remember, it had like the CGI Randy Moss running around for the football game. But that was, let's see, Joe Capone, Twitch.tv/Caponis, at least four times a week around 7:30, 8 p.m. Eastern. Fuck Kirk Cousins. I think he lost.
Oh, how do you keep losing to Kirk Cousins? Oh, come on, Capone.
I want to know who programmed this ROM of a modern Tecmo Super Bowl III, and they made Kirk Cousins fucking unbeatable.
Have they never seen the postseason with Kirk Cousins?
Have they never done this? Oh, can you two talk about games you're playing and books you're reading real quick? Because I got to go. I have show and tell for this segment.
Oh, show and tell.
That I forgot to get.
All right.
So I'll be back. Right back. Don't you worry. Right back.
Right now I'm back into Immortal Hulk. I picked that up because I got the Marvel app where you get the old comic books. I'm reading Immortal Hulk, and Leader just reappeared. I'm like in issue 30 something. It's pretty cool. But that's it. I haven't played any video games. No video games.
I haven't played anything since Jerry and I were we finally broke NBA 2K21 on Twitch.
By the way, that was such bullshit because the interface on that game is so Cody is user unfriendly, the best way to call it.
Yeah, I figured
a match
after we were finished, I finally figured out like the easiest way to do it, and it's still incredibly complicated.
And Cody, I felt really bad for him because he had to crush his beloved San Antonio Spurs playing as my beloved Dallas Mavericks.
Why did that happen?
Because I thought I'd pick the Mavs.
You can't choose your own teams. The host has to choose the team. And then it's unclear about which one is like the actual host. So only one person can thumb through it's super weird.
It's super weird.
Terrible design.
It was.
Why do they overcomplicate it? It was like NBA like 96. NBA on like Sega Genesis was a perfectly simple game to play.
So easy.
Just leave the user interface the same and get the graphics better.
So I got to give a shout out to my homie Vince, aka the Radiohead, on Instagram and social media. I got the NES Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini, those consoles that Nintendo did that were preloaded with like 30 classic games.
Oh, you told me about this.
He jacked them up. This has every NES game ever fucking made on it. This has every Super Nintendo game ever fucking made on. I am in heaven. It's unbelievable. I can't thank this guy enough. He fucking
How many games? How many games are on anything?
God, like 700 plus.
Wow. How do you even go through the list to find out what you want to play?
It's like Netflix. Like so in the original one, when you would plug it in, the 30 games would be like on a menu. Yeah. And on this, he just has, it's the same interface, but just a bunch of folders that are alphabetically separated. And you just go, okay, let me see what's in. And he has it like, this is Aero Fighters to, battle, whatever, big league baseball, whatever. And you just, and it's like because of the nature of it, like a few of them don't play. But I think the only ones that don't work on the NES are the shitty WWF games. So who gives a shit?
Really?
Yeah, everything else, it's fuck. And there are games on here that are like $1,000 out of box to play, and it's like, so I just don't have to worry about that. Thank God,
So that shitty WrestleMania game doesn't work on there?
I don't think it does. I got to see. I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it yet, but this one, he also was nice enough to throw in a bunch of Game Boy games on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's cool.
Thing. So I've been in heaven. Haven't read shit because I've just been playing these, and that's what I've been doing on Twitch.
In Bryan Adams heaven?
And Bryan Adams heaven.
You've been fingering your Super NES?
Fingering my Super NES. And I have a bone to pick with some of my ramblers who also follow me on Twitch. They would not shut up about how good The Adventures of Batman and Robin was, the Super Nintendo game based off the cartoon.
Yeah.
That game is $100+ loose. It is a hunk of shit. I played it on my Twitch Friday night. It's the dumbest it is so okay. The first boss is the Joker, and you're fighting him on a roller coaster.
Why would the Joker be the first boss?
Right? You're fighting him on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
The Joker's on one thing. You're on another cart that are going side by side on a roller coaster track. He's throwing grenades at Batman, and Batman has to punch him back to the Joker. Even though they're literally, Eddie and Cody, this far away. It's like the Naked Gun when they would have the shootouts and they're like hiding behind benches and they're a foot away. I'm like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. The balls on people to charge 100. Anyway, it was a hunk of shit. So
why is the Joker the first ball? That makes no sense.
Zero. It's. I don't understand how that game has been so
like overrated. Poison Ivy comes after the Joker?
I'm never going to find out. I have no I'm never going to play this fucking thing ever again. That thing was stricken. So that's what I've been playing. My God, did you all give us your playing and reading?
I just been reading Immortal Hulk. I've been back in Immortal Hulk.
How good is it? How much do you love
Leader
it?
comes back.
Ooh, how great was that?
Man, I didn't want to say
shit. I did not want to say shit. I was like, oh, just you wait.
I didn't see it coming. I was like, holy shit.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
I guess it's time for a top 5. How amazing
it's time of the show where we rank the top 10.
5.
Look at that. All right. Man, this was tough, everybody. Top 5 finger banging songs. I read Andrea my list, and she said, you've never finger banged anybody, have you? She just didn't want to admit that she got finger blasted every one of those back in the day. That's the only thing. That's all that was. Can you hear me, honey? No, good. No, she's watching something. What? Then she's going to hear this.
She's probably finger banging herself to
probably finger banging herself to that, to my list. Next Ramble, we're going to go a complete 180 from finger banging songs in honor of, I think, this new HBO thing that looks fucking awesome. Let's do top 5 Tina Turner songs.
Okay.
Ike and Tina. Have you seen that trailer for the documentary coming out about her?
No.
Ooh, it looks good, man. Another hero. Oh, it looks fucking
Ain't
great.
We a pair? Raggedy Man.
Ain't we a pair? It's funny. I guess they still call it the greatest comeback in history. It was her. And she was like, there's a line in the trailer where she goes, it wasn't a comeback because I had never arrived. She was like, I looked at it as my debut.
Well, the reason it's so odd is because for her to come back in music at the age she came back,
and
most people are done. Most women, especially in that business, are done.
A black woman primarily doing pop rock.
Yeah.
Right? And she, at her age, and she fucking is selling out soccer arenas.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, unreal, man. That was... And every fucking song on Private Dancer is a fucking jam.
Yeah.
They are all so good. Here we go. So, Dustin Jacobs, top 5. Dustin did not listen to the
American
rules.
Dream, Dustin Jacobs.
The American Dream, Dustin Jacobs. He didn't listen to the rules. That's fine. He just went all Bryan Adams. Run to You. Side note, this should have been in the Running Man soundtrack. All for Love, Three Musketeers. Number 3, he put Heaven. I don't know why Heaven's number 3. If he's breaking the rules and putting Heaven in there.
That's number 1.
Number 2, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? And then number 1, Everything I Do It For You.
From the Johnny Depp movie, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman?
Yeah, Don Juan DeMarco. Don Juan DeMarco. Have you ever really loved a woman? If you love a woman. Gary Priest. He's going for UK songs. Number 5, Why? I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Cutting Crew. Oh, I told him your little line about how I've never finger banged anybody with my list. And they all thought the reason you didn't answer me is because you were finger banging yourself to my list because you knew how good it was. More Than This, Roxy Music. Wild Boys, Duran Duran. Wishing Well, wow. Terrence Trent D'Arby. And number 1, George Michael, Wham, Careless Whisper. Oh, and a ton of emails followed by I'll send you some beard oil. Clearly, Joe Santos is a man in pain. Hashtag unrequited love. Oh, shit, I didn't read that part of Gary's. Look, Cody, is this your favorite email we've ever gotten so far?
That's a pretty good one.
Is Gary Priest at the top? Is he your favorite Rambler now? Gary Priest. Stay safe.
If Gary Priest was a song, you would fingerbang to him, correct?
I think so. That might be number one.
I think that's how that works out.
Gary, but here's where he has a bone to pick with us, that he's still waiting for a nickname that sticks. Priest.
Oh.
Man. Wow.
So GP's not going to work.
How about the Reverend Gary Priest?
The Reverend Gary Priest. I like that.
Gary Priest.
His Holiness.
His Holiness Gary Priest. I like that one. Jake Pauley, a.k.a. Scissor Lord, Stir It Up by Bob Marley, Adorned by Miguel, Ball and Biscuit, The White Stripes, Let's Spend the Night Together, The Rolling Stones, Darling Nikki, Prince, Graham and Faye, excluding the universally established. They knew the rules. Permanent fixtures of Bryan
Adams.
They always
know the rules.
They know the rules. Mike Reno and Ann Wilson, Almost Paradise. Unofficial number 3, Marvin Gaye, Sexual Healing. Okay. Now for the runners-up, and with that, Faye's Rock in the top 5 this time around. Number 5, Enigma, Principles of Lust. Number 4.
This should be from a woman's point of view.
This should be. I mean,
this whole list should be.
Honey, do you want to make a list? I'm giving her a shot.
If you had to get fingerbanged.
Right. Andrea, do you want to make a list of songs you wouldn't mind getting finger smashed to? No, she's okay, thank you. All right.
Oh, that's too bad. So, Beat It by Michael Jackson.
Beat It by Michael Jackson. The Lumberjack song by Jackal. Well, I'm a lumberjack, baby.
And anything by Anthrax.
Anything by Anthrax. Imagine having the balls to try to fingerbang someone
during Anthrax. Fuck.
Oh, I'm a lumberjack, baby. The Jackal song when he plays a chainsaw. That was a stupid.
Oh my god!
Imagine
trying to fingerbang to Anthrax. If you do, are you not the greatest ever of all time?
Man, you have game we've never heard of. Game.
You have the best game. You're the Michael Jordan of fingerbangers, right?
Oh my!
You're the Jordan of
fingerbang to Anthrax? Yeah, absolutely.
You're the Jordan of fingerbangers.
Oh fuck! Enigma, Principles of Lust, Chris Isaac, Wicked Game, Cranberries, Linger, Pink Fingers, and phase number 1, Peter Gabriel, In Your Eyes. Stay safe, Ramble is Ramble Off, Graham and Faye, Winnipeg A. Colin Mags, top 5. I decided I'd only allow 1 entry per band singers. If you go down the Bon Jovi rabbit hole, that's all that'd be on the list.
Very true.
Special mention for the Ace of Spades by Motorhead for the speed bangers out there. Remember, use plenty of lube with the recommended position as a lady on all fours. And use a bowling grip 2 in the pink one and the stink.
Jeez,
and you move
Mags.
fingers vigorously in time with the guitar. He's dropping some knowledge here.
Dude.
Lone Star
book.
He does. Lone Star Amazed, Mr. Big, Be With You, Extreme, More Than Words, Bon Jovi Always, and number 1, Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. So potent sexual energy. It was a lead track of the compilation rounding third. Take care, everyone. Colin Mags. Michael Werman. Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton. Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman. The Beatles, In My Life. Lady, the Dan Band version, old school. Foxtrot Uniform, Charlie Kilo, The Bloodhound Gang. Go Fridge, says Worms. Charles Phillips. He goes,
Fridge.
Tesla love song, Get Your Classic Rock Chick. Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You, but only with the fingers. Mr. Big, To Be With You. 2 for Mr. Big, To Be With You. Gets her in the mood. And damn, All for One, I swear, this song makes the panties wet. Brian McKnight, Back to 1. You will get 3 knuckles deep into this song. Do I even read Joe Santos? Or should Cody feel nervous that these are all about him? Top 5 to fingerbang thing. Welcome, everybody, to the Midnight Hours here in Los Angeles. Take a look out your window and let's sweat it to the oldies with Art LeBeau. Always and Forever, Heat Wave, dedicated to Baby Sleeper. Always and Forever. Nobody, Keith Sweat. Monica Touch It. Suavecito, Malo, and Pony by Genuine. Hashtag flirting, have I gone too far? Hashtag, am I giving the wrong message? Hashtag, LOL, you Canadians. Hashtag, if anything, I'm flirting with Skeletor. Joseph Santos.
It's a much better match.
There was a bit of a he had his own come to Jesus moment.
Yeah,
Joseph
I think
Santos,
he did. I think he did.
Before he even heard any of these emails. Joe Capone, Trickster, Surrender. Alison Krauss, Let Me Touch It for a While. Dum Dum Girls, Bedroom Eyes. Bon Jovi, Living in Sin. White Snake, Slow and Easy. Man.
Nice.
This is... All right. So, my number 5, I went Jefferson Starship, Miracles.
Oh.
Yeah. Eddie, your number 5?
My number 5, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh. Cody?
Foreigner, Waiting for a Girl Like You.
How did I not think of that? How did I not think? Oh, shit. It's too late. I got to change my list. How did I forget so long? You're already in. The fucking knuckle's already there.
You're getting laid, dude.
Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck. I've been waiting. That's it.
For a girl like you.
Oof. My number 4, I'm going to let my friend's old comedy bit introduce this one. I wish that I could make you turn around and see me cry. I had to go Phil Collins, Against All Odds.
Nice.
Eddie?
Number 4. I'll Make Love to You, Boys to Men.
Boys to Look at you. That's a second vote for that.
Right.
This is funny. I think this is close to our shitting Hall of Fame is the finger banging.
Maybe we have a tournament for finger banging.
We might have to. Cody, you're number 4.
My number 4, REO Speedwagon, Keep on Loving You.
Oh, nice.
Cody, I'm sorry, but this
Cody's
is a
player.
This is the Atlanta's pitching rotation.
This is Maddox, Smoltz, Glavine.
Oh fuck!
Woo!
Cody's just bringing it. My number 3. This came on late for number 3. It was actually another song that I had to move to honorable mentions because I had to put it. Poison. Every rose has its thorn. That is, I mean, come on.
Ladies love that one.
How many finger banging at the state fair happened to that song?
I mean, what? Just the opening breath.
Forget it.
I mean, you already unzipped the pants at that point.
You're in. Eddie, you're number 3.
This one's probably solely me. I don't know if this didn't make anyone else's list, but I'm not going to confirm or deny it. It came from personal experience. Dream Warriors by Dokken.
Oh, from Freddie from Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Dream Warriors, Dokken.
Fuck yes. That's how you know it happened to somebody. Like if my next one was like Walk Pantera. You're like, what the fuck happened?
Shit got crazy.
Cody, you're number 3.
Number 3, Dave Matthews Band, Crash Into Me.
Oh yeah, there it is. Cody's going. He's jumping a generation too with his other picks. Look at
Cody. Might be a master finger banger.
He might be.
Jesus.
Is there like a? What would you call a sommelier for finger banging?
He's a Jedi level finger banger.
He really is, man. My number 2. This was tough. It could have been number 1, but I'm very confident in my number 1. But my number 2 was Journey, Faithfully.
Oh, okay.
Had to go Faithfully by Journey. Eddie, you're number 2.
The reason Faithfully didn't make my list is because for some reason it was always on the morning radio when my dad's alarm clock would go off in the morning.
Can't finger bang to that.
So I can't finger. That song is ruined to me for finger bang.
You can't finger bang.
It just makes me think of my dad coming in his tidy whities yelling at me to get up for school.
Time for school. You can't. That's the last thing you want to do.
That song is unfinger bangable too.
The last thing you want to do is finger bang.
My number 2, Can't Help Falling in Love with You, UB40.
Oh, man.
Say
only fools. Cody?
I went with one that's been done a couple times, but had to make the list, which is Boyz II Men, I'll Make Love to You.
Oh, it's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Mm-hmm. That's a great one. That was in my honorable mentions. Now, my number 1, I think Eddie will back me up on this, at least the argument to put this number 1. I think Eddie could make a case for this as well. Yep. For me, what else could it be? The Bangles' Eternal Flame. Had to be. Is this burning? Right? Close your eyes. Give me your hand. It's leading you there.
There's something about having a woman singing that just gets the girl in the right mood.
Give me your hand. Can you feel my heartbeat? I mean, they know what they want.
My heart beat it.
Susanna Hoffs knew what she was doing. What's your number one, Eddie?
I'll Be There For You, Bon Jovi.
Oh, that's a great one. That is a great
there for you.
These 4 words I swear to you when you breathe.
I want to be the air
great
for you.
One. Ooh, Cody?
I think the lyrics of this might not jive with with exactly the vibe of the song, but Michael Bolton's "How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?"
Tremendous.
Bolton for the number one spot.
For the win. Man. Okay, I have a question. What's more impressive, finger banging to Anthrax or Weird Al?
If you can finger bang to Weird Al, you put a ring on that girl finger.
Yeah, you put a ring.
That is marriage material.
She's the one if she allows
If she will finger bang to Weird Al, you marry that girl.
Oh, fuck. God damn. There it is. So that's Ramble 276. Ramble 277. Top 5 Tina Turner songs. How about that? Open, close, encore, Thin Lizzy. And what band goes into the hair metal Hall of Fame? Who's on the hat? That's all coming up next week. So until then, thank you. Stay safe. Remember, get your votes in. There's already a new tournament going. There's already the next round by the time you're hearing this. Vote, 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 vote. Let's get those Stall of Fame votes in, baby.
And then Friday, we're announcing the What Did He Eat 8, right?
The What Did He Eat 8 comes Friday. This is amazing. This is huge. So thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Cody, rock that music, baby. And ooh, man.
Could you finger bang to this? Are you a champ?
I bet it's already happened.
Probably. It's probably happening right now.
It's already happening now. Come on.
I know Graham and Faye listen to this together.
They're married. They're in love. Come on.
Like, I mean, you don't finger bang anymore once you're married.
No. Does Joe Santos go all in next week and just propose to Cody? What do you think?
It's gonna get comfortable.
Not interested after hearing his list.
Oh!
Wow! Shot yourself in the foot, Joseph. You shot yourself.
Especially after the list that Cody brought.
Come on. The heat that was brought.
Finger bang me with that list.
Right now. Oh. Well, there we go. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow for Goodwill of Hunting. Get them votes in, baby. We love you guys. Take care, everybody.
Bye.